All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is and I hope you're having a wonderful
That came in really fast.
It's another wonderful Thursday here in 2024, and once again, I am alive, but I'm telling you, maybe I've been saying this a lot. You know, the stock market is going crazy, but this one is a very special one because we are going to talk about TLT, and now we are going to talk about what the market is about to get into, because now we have gone over most every single economic event. We are wrapping up this week, and next week is going to be one of the biggest shifts we have seen in years, and I'm sure all of the history books are going to point back to it. So I'm really glad that we get to live through it. I'm glad I get to document it and share it with all my chads who are just as fascinated as I am. But I also want to give you something useful, so hopefully you can make some money on it, and I want to clarify some stuff with TLT. So this might be a video you want to save, even though it is live. We may have some good live questions at the end, but like I'm saying, pay attention to the keys and everything we go over, and if you really are interested in TLT and what is about to happen, I do think you should start to pay attention. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but like I'm saying here, the shift that we are about to get into, this would be a moment where you might want to start paying attention, and I hope by the end of this video, you are even more prepared. So remember, I do have a video called how to or exactly when to buy TLT. That was another one actually about a couple of weeks before everything went crazy. I put that video out, so I think it was very timely and helpful, so definitely check that out. It'll be another one you could add to this video. And then don't forget, baby, we're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestackmarket. We'll see you there every morning. So if anything did go crazy, I mean, you know, I will see you there. So I hope you're ready for all of it, but you are definitely in for a treat. I have the keys. I have even plays, and we're going to talk about TLT, baby. So I hope you guys are ready for all of it, but all my people on the recap, just give me 2 extra minutes. Bear with me, baby. James Cash, what up, fam? Woo! Let me say what's up, baby. How we living? What up, Devlin? Good evening. What up, Matthew? Mayhan, Zoe, Kakamo, Enzo, Matthew Warman, Hi Dear, Tim Whitman, baby. What's going on? HF, Macho, Michael Fell in the house, bro. Let's go. He's coming soon, baby. Stock Trader, Mikey Leach, Car HRD, Graggy, Gary Avari, Donnie Wan, baby. What's going on? What up, Hardy? What up, Oscar? What up, T-Lo? What up, Andrea, BC, Malcolm, Anthony? Good evening. What up, JJ? I didn't say good morning. What up, Kurt McGirt? How we living, man? Are you ready? Oh, Twitchlandia. Shout out Twitchlandia, man. Pour one out for him. You know what I'm saying? I know it's Watchlist though. I don't know. They don't even have a Watchlist on Twitch, man. I don't know, man. So I hope you guys are ready. And we have a Twitch too, just in case if anybody didn't know. You got to back up there, but I hope you guys are locked and loaded, and I hope you guys like the new edition. Since they came out with a purple iPhone, you now have a purple Watchlist, or Watchlist available in purple. So right off the bat, you better get your notepads out. Let's talk about it. I think this could make your notes easier, and I'm telling you, I'm the annoying guy and I think it might actually have an event, but retail sales, I've been telling you, that is going to be the final event, and literally, this is why I'm saying, and like I'm kind of excited, and we could talk about TLT because this is truly the final economic event that stands in your way between a rate cut. So is there a world where Powell doesn't cut rates next week? Yeah, it's very, very unlikely, but if anything weird was going to happen, it will happen with the retail sales. But at the very least, if you understand what I'm going to share with you in this video and how to really play TLT, this data is going to be important. So one, it can change things, but it's not supposed to change the broader dynamic of us getting rate cuts. Although if it was going to be a black swan, it would be with the retail sales. But like I'm telling you, what happens with the data and what we get out of the retail sales, that's going to factor into how you're going to go about playing TLT. So even if it doesn't change something immediately, down the road, the retail sales will be important. And then that's the final thing. So even then, coming into tomorrow, this is why I'm saying, this is why we're talking about TLT and the bonds, because tomorrow is Friday. We don't have much. The market may move around. Whether we move big or small, it doesn't matter, because next week everybody is going to go crazy. And like I'm saying here, this is it. The path is about to change. So there's two things. One, I think you guys already see it, like the yield curve. This is another, again, I brought this up yesterday. I keep reminding you, and I would watch this because like I was telling you, by the time we get the rate cuts in Powell, this is really going to get the yield curve moving and out of this stickiness, and you're going to know if there was either a false signal or not, and then it'll keep steepening, believe it or not. So that's the first part, but then the other part that I have written here, you guys got to realize the actual path of like fiscal policy and what is going on, that is about to change. The last time you had a change like that was in March of 2022. So it was kind of crazy to think about, but like if you don't realize what I'm saying, March of 2022, that is when you got your rate cuts. So we started, again, we were actually a little bit more volatile as everybody was talking about the rate cuts, right? You kind of had a little bit of a front run, and then as you got your rate cuts, you actually ended up bouncing. You did good, and then you got more cuts in May, and then you started dying, and then fast forward, it took about like a year or so, the end of a little bit more than a year, to get back up to that level when Powell started raising the rates. But what I'm trying to tell you, this is the exact same thing. Is it going to have the same exact effect? No, we don't know that yet, and that's what we're going to look out for. But like in the sense of like apples to apples comparison, the last time you had a similar shift, it was in March of 2022, where you went from 0% rate policy, and then we started moving forward. So that's why I'm saying this cut and what we are going through right now, it's absolutely wild when you think about it. So keep that in mind, and hopefully you guys are ready for that. But now, like I'm saying, it's very simple. We're not going to really be dealing with much tomorrow. You might get some market moves, but I mean, I wouldn't get too jumpy. It's all going to be about next week now, and once we get the rate cut. So here's the deal. Let's talk about how TLT is going to move now. So this is, again, I've been getting very good questions, and listen, like I'm saying, there's many ways to go about it, and just quite simply, man, I mean, I think we've got to see it so many times. Those that don't pay attention, you're just going to get clapped. And I'm not saying you have to pay attention to just me, but like actually just be aware of what you're buying, why you're buying it, but like if you're kind of just hoping to follow the trade and it's going to kind of arrive easy, I mean, maybe it will, maybe it won't. And that's what I'm going to outline here. That's why I'm like, I hope this video helps, because then you'll just know it's going to be a little difficult. So first thing is first, if you are going to be looking ahead of it, none of this is a recommendation. I'm just telling you what I'm looking out for. But one, TLT will move on Powell Day. So next week, and there could be an opportunity for a play right before. I put a few days after, because traditionally 3 days, the day of the Fed meeting and then the next 2 days, are usually bullish. For the last 25 years, the yields go lower, always. It's just one of those phenomena that occur because all of the talk and then the getting rid of the event risk, it usually leads to a positive follow through on bonds. So that's part of it. It might get priced in. That's what I'm saying. We'll see. But at the very least on Powell Day, it will move. Even if people think it's priced in, there are going to be details that get released. So are people going to react to what happens next week? And is there still some uncertainty? Yes, there is. That's why TLT will move. But then right when that comes out, there is going to be more information to start moving TLT either a lot or a little bit in the future. And now that's the next part of this whole equation. Like I'm saying, it will move on Powell Day, and then the next coming days, that's where a lot of moves are going to set up with TLT. And now how much TLT, how much higher it's going to move, that is going to depend upon the SEP and the economic data moving forward. That's why I'm saying retail sales, that's economic data. That'll be important. All of the data after this, we're still going to be following data, playing that data game. That's going to be a part of everything going on. But now, right when the Fed meeting comes out next week, the SEP, that is going to have that future data. That is going to tell you about how many more rate cuts for the end of this year, and then how many more rate cuts for 2025, even 2026. So there's going to be data about the economy, employment, inflation. The SCP is going to be very forward-looking. So imagine we've been 50 basis point, 25, we're going to cut. But like the SCP could reveal a big part of the story. And it's quite simple. If that SCP shows aggressive rate cuts, TLT is going to rip massively. See, I don't know if y'all think I'm playing you. I'm trying to hook you up right now. Do you hear me? So let's say following Powell next week, if that SEP says 6 more rate cuts by the end of the year, and then next year, you know what I'm saying? And then it says even next year the terminal rate's going to be at like 2.5, I would buy the shit out of TLT. I would even play short-term options on TLT. But that just means TLT is going to go a lot higher if that was the case. So that's if you get an aggressive SEP. But if the SEP is kind of like Japan and they try to conceal it and it's only showing, you know, a small amount of rate cuts, then the market in TLT, it's not going to move as much. That's kind of the problem here. And this is why I keep telling you, although TLT is exciting, and I have other stuff to share with you in this video, although it is exciting, I have also reminded you in all these videos why you need to be careful. Why you got exactly. There are a lot of people get ahead of it. A lot of people have gotten pump faked, and you could get clapped on it. There's a lot of risk. It's not going to be easy. You don't, have we hit good TLTs? Yes. That's why I was like, go watch the other video. I share my credentials there with you, but there was very certain scenarios, and that's why you need to be able to you have to have situational awareness to understand what kind of situation is happening so you know what kind of TLT to play. So that's why I'm saying if it's not insinuating a lot of cuts and we're not getting more future data on where rates are going to be, then you don't know how high TLT will go. So if you don't know about the future plan, you don't know where TLT is going to end up at and by when, and that's going to clap a lot of plays. So here's the deal. This is a very simple, I hope this analogy hits. Here's a little game for you. It's very simple. Pick a number, any number. And that's going to be what I mean by pick a number, any number. You have to pick a range for TLT. And that is what will happen in the soft landing for you to make money. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, is that after they cut rates, if we get, if again, the guidance is very small and it's all about the soft landing and everything kind of chills out and it's gradual, yeah, TLT is going to start catching a bid, but where it goes to, you have to pick the right price or you're going to lose. Do you understand? So you could go and say, oh, it's going to go to 100. That's close. You say 115 by the end of next year. So if by the end of 2025, we're not at 115, or if the rates, again, aren't there, you're going to lose, even if TLT goes up 15%. Even if you say 130, even if you say 140. The whole point is, if you don't know that there's going to be a rapid steepening and a lot of cuts, TLT isn't going to rocket up. TLT, take a look. Look, how did it look in 2016? You chilled 2016 to you didn't move till 2019. And again, they were doing stuff with rates there too. 2019, this was the first TLT we hit it. And actually the Fed meeting, it was a little later, but then it chilled out up until COVID. Because again, that was gradual cuts. So in a weird way, you might get your pop and you can see how it's already moving, but in the future, if it really is a soft landing and the rate cuts come in slow and it's not aggressive, oh wait, the wire is in the way. You guys have to realize that if that's the case, it might look like this. You might have your little pop and then it's going to fade. So if you don't pick the right number on TLT, you are going to lose. But that's why I'm saying soft landing, it's pick a number, any number. So you have to pick where you think it's going to go. If there's not a lot on the SEP and it's all minor and everything is all about gradual and there isn't, again, hard landing and a need for more rate cuts, then TLT is going to go up, but it's only going to go up to a certain price. And then after that, there will be a point where if you go too much, you will lose. It's funny. I have a good example. Would you guys like a good example? Can I share with you a classic? I would love to share with you guys a classic if you would be interested in it. Okay, so here's your example. Your example is Bob Barker and The Price is Right. So do you guys know Price is Right? This is Price is Right.
Never had drilling you, and I want you to say that's too much, just like he did. How did he do it?
That's too much.
That's pretty good.
So, yes.
That's pretty good.
So Price is Right.
Now,
you guys see this
here's
game?
the first price for your consideration.
Damn, $12,000 for a car.
Keep going, Bob.
Keep going, Bob. There's 14,000.
That's your TLT. You're like 100 call. 100 call. Keep going. 110. 110.
Keep
Give me
going,
110.
Bob.
Go 110 call. We're going 110 call.
15,206.
Fuck it, 130 call.
That's too much.
Oh, 110 too much?
Too much.
Okay, let's see.
15,206.
Let's see. He
The
said 110
audience
TLT.
is very disappointed, but
That's
I
like
want to know,
that's like a 3.8
is he a
terminal
winner?
rate.
No. What is the price, Gabby? Oh, 22.
He sold too early. See, so he bought TLT. He bought TLT, and then it ended up, rates went lower, but he sold out too early. That's what happened in this case. You see, he went too low. But what's going to happen to a lot of people? They're going to go over. So that's what soft landing is going to be when it comes down to TLT. So that, unfortunately, is the negative part here. That's what I'm saying. So when it comes down to playing the right TLT, if it is soft landing, if it is this very Japan-like, very conspicuous or ambiguous plan moving forward, then you're going to get, you have to pick your range on TLT. And that's the only way you're going to make money on it. If you're right in that range, depending on whether in the money, out the money, and how you set it up, that's going to determine your risk, your gains, all of that stuff, right? And now on the other side, this is the one you all want. Buy anything is a life jacket. That's a hard landing. So, right, and how many people want to do that? How many times are people like, oh, I want to buy TLT, and they're just like, oh, rate cuts, boom, buy TLT? No. So if you think you're just going to buy TLT and make a fat percentage or any of the ones that we've hit in the past, though, again, 2019 was kind of a soft landing, but we hit it really good. But 2020, that was a hard landing. So think about it here. Hard landing, any TLT is going to work. So if it gets down to the point where we're really hitting a hard landing and the Fed goes from, okay, we're cutting rates, but then within the month or two, they start really cutting rates or start doing bigger rate cuts or emergency cuts, then that means you're going to have a hard landing. Any TLT is going to run. Then that means the TLT is going to go up rapidly. And then if they go to rapid cutting, you're more likely to go to zero. Zero is literally the top of the TLT chart. You see what I'm saying? So, like, last time there was a hard landing, look at what happened. So that's why I'm like, you got to think about it. Hard landing, we're talking 160, 170 TLT. Any other situation, 100, 110, 120, I don't know. It's going to, you see what I'm saying? Then you're playing a game of that's too much. Are you guys following? So again, buy anything. You're pretty much looking for a life jacket in the event of a hard landing. But that's the move with it. Just you could buy anything out of the money, in the money. You're gonna make a bag. Short term, long term, it doesn't matter if that's the situation. And again, you got to think about it. If the SEP starts talking about major rate cuts and bigger cuts in the future, people are going to start saying hard landing. And then again, TLT, people are going to start buying all of those. And then that will be the play that will be profitable. Okay. So I really hope this helps. I hope this analogy sticks. I hope you think of Bob Barker when you're wondering what plays you should be playing. But now let me end it with the final part about TLT. I'm going to add one more. And I love this part because it's great. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it is. FXY is better than TLT. That's if you want the best of both worlds. So if you want the upside of, like, again, rate cuts and that move and making money on like a big rate cut, soft landing or hard landing, the yen has that. Again, no levered is FXY. And then again, it's going to move up with it. It has the best of both worlds. But like I'm saying, it's lazy, not in a bad way. But if you're leveraging it, it's not lazy. If it's leveraged, you have to really pay, then you could lose on it. But more so along the lines of it's passive. You could literally play FXY passively. And it's just less riskier in the sense that it's going to end up at the same. At this point, is the yen, can it weaken again? Yeah, but I strongly doubt if everywhere around the world starts changing policy and really shifting, I doubt you'll see the yen as weak as it has been for like another 20 years maybe, unless they absolutely fail as an economy and country. The Japanese yen reminds me of interest rates in America in 2022 or 2021. So again, and what happened? When we shifted, you never saw those again. I think that's going to happen with the yen. I don't think you'll be able to get the yen, can the yen stay low value for a couple of years? Yeah. Can FXY not move? Yeah. You could lose money that way, have to pay the fee or whatever, but I don't think there's that much downside on the yen anymore. And then again, go look at the yen and bonds. There's a high correlation with them. If we get rate cuts, all of that, FXY is going to move like TLT. So if you're not leveraging it, you're not playing options, only shares, it's safer, it's less risky, it's very passive, and that's what I'm saying. You get to get the TLT thing, but that's the interesting part. Every other TLT, every other time we've made it big on TLT, there wasn't really anything happening with the other currencies. Except for China. And honestly, there might be some things in China that are happening, but that's why it's interesting because, like I'm saying, this doesn't really happen too often where, like, the yen is on the menu. And again, and has moved how it's moved over the last, like, 40 or 50 years. So very, very fascinating, but that is your final key. So now let us get into the plays. But before I get into the plays, since today is a very thematic watch list talking about TLT. Is there any questions about when to play TLT or what's going on or the level of what we're about to deal with here as we get into the shift? Is there anything that you are interested in? And then I'm shorting the yen. Again, I'm gonna do the reverse of the Japan play. It's up a lot right now, so we'll see where that is. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see. So if China pulls the world economy down, TLT will skyrocket. Possibly, but we're not as concerned as much as China, as much as it would probably be at like America. That's the thing. Remember, like, Powell is cutting rates right now. Powell is the one tweaking aggregate demand. So, if that American consumer and our demand falters, I mean, that could be a problem added to the China one. But I actually have something we can talk about here with China in a little bit. So we'll get into that in the plays. You have TLT 100 contracts. Is that good? It depends on what you paid for them because it's at 100. And then, again, it depends on soft landing or not. For now, though, that's a good one, assuming you didn't pay too much. Market sells the first cut. Yes. So remember, market usually buys the first rate hike and sells the first rate cut. But yes. So again, I mean, that's the next part about it. No matter what, we talked about it yesterday. There's going to be the run up and the run down into all of it. But when it's all said and done, I mean, right when you get the rate cuts, people are going to, people are going to be talking about, oh, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good. And then that's going to be the next thing. Would TLT play be good with time? So like I'm saying here, it depends on what we get. So if there's a soft landing, I think TLT plays with time are going to be more likely to lose. If there is a hard landing, I think any TLT play with time is going to do amazing. Or depending on what the SCP says, you could extrapolate from the terminal rate in 2025, and you could use that to get an idea of how people will start positioning for where rates and bonds will be by then. So that's the only thing you can do is when the SCP comes out, I would be looking to see the terminal rate because then the markets will start reacting to that. So I do think that would be important. Would it be good with time? Would multiple central banks cutting affect TLT? Yeah. Well, it's more likely to affect the dollar, and then that could have an effect on bonds. That's the thing. Our central banks are autonomous. So our actions in central banks and anyone else, it's autonomy. It's controlling their policy. So if there is going to be an effect, it's going to be the impact on the dollar and then the broader effect that the dollar would have. So like we saw, again, ECB cut rates today, and we saw a little bit of that. I heard you're shorting the yen. Oh, no, I'm shorting the yen like right now, like here to avoid confusion. Oh, wait. I keep doing that. That's the NKD. My bad. Okay, I covered it. I made $20. So I was just flipping it. That's what I've been doing. We were talking about it the other day. So I closed it now. So now I have no yen plays. Because there's been a couple of little arbitrage plays that we've been talking about that you could do. So that was kind of one of them with depending on how Japan trades. Can you recreate TLT with other rates, TLT and Shy? Well, Shy is going to be short-term rates, but yeah, TLT you can. But again, that's a very good question because depending on what sort of situation we get, certain parts of the curve are going to move more. So if we get a hard landing, TLT is going to be great. Long duration on a hard landing is going to make you more money. But then the short end of the curve won't make you as much. But then if we get a soft landing, long duration is going to hurt you in that sense. So if we get a soft landing and you buy the short end of the curve, you're going to make money instantly as the short end adjusts and stays lower and then possibly goes lower. You see what I'm saying? But on the reverse, if the soft landing, you benefit, but then hard landing, you would make more off the long end. Do I think 920 104s have massive open interest is snitching? Maybe somebody knows something. No, I'm pretty sure. Isn't 105? I want to say it's like 4%. No, I forgot. It's somewhere like that, but I'm pretty sure it's a key level. Let me double check. Where is it? So here, let's just see. I'll eyeball it. Short end volatility, kind of. Short end is volatility with like rates to a degree. But again, like I'm saying, in a hard landing, the short end would make you less. But on a soft landing, the short end would make you more because it would actually move while the long end would probably even go down. But then on a hard landing, there's more meat on the bone to make money on the long end of the bonds rather than the short end because the short end will have less meat on the bone. It will still respond, but then the short end is already closer to the floor, hypothetically. Or in theory, it should be. Is it 105? I think 105, or is it 3.5? Yeah, somewhere like that. But let me see. So where is it? Where's 105? That might be higher. So 9/16/2022. Yeah, it's around. I think it is. Yeah, it's about like 3.5. You're right. So yeah, that's why it makes sense. So nothing snitching. These are, remember, I don't like, if you've ever seen my rate call outs, like on the, I don't know if you've been watching though, I would tell you guys every time the 3.5s, the 3s, the 2.7s and 4, they've been epic because the bond market just moves at those levels. I mean, and it makes sense because again, the Fed moves a quarter point at a time, literally. So I wouldn't read too much into options at 105. Again, that there is going to be a range. 3.5. 3.5 is even recession or hard landing. Again, 3.0, 2.75, 2.5, and then even on the way up, the bonds have a very interesting set of levels that you could use. All righty. Well, on that note, a lot of good questions. I'm sure we could answer a little bit more, but let us get into the plays. So I didn't go over all the plays. I'll throw all of them at you all at once. The first play, Fortinet, FTNT, and this one's going to be interesting because we saw this and we got the news earlier today. It was that there was a breach, like they had some sort of like data breach, and it's simple. Just watch out for a development or a dud. And what I mean by this is like it was a couple months ago, like Okta, that play had a data breach. And these plays, it was like 20,000%. It was an absolute massive drop. And then I forgot, I think it was like CRM or somebody. They had a data breach and nothing happened. So this is still developing, and that's why it's kind of interesting. But I think it's going to be a coin toss. So I got like $4 plays. It was like the next week, like 70 calls or 65s. I bought them literally at $4, but nothing too crazy. But I am going to watch out if that one goes nuts. And then K-Web, this one's a good one, and I think it's a good talk we should have. One of you guys just asked about China, but just be on the lookout for any other China names. I'm still in my Baidus. Watch out for Baba as well, but even then, K-Web. And again, as we're talking about rate cuts and things moving, that's one element you want to watch out for with China, but people are talking about China stimulus. There's some rumors going around that China might be getting ready to cut rates which they haven't done in a while, like their big rates. And then people are starting to insinuate that if America and other things, if things start going the right way, there could be the big one. So here's the deal. Pretty much, as I said here, there's going to be no effect unless there's like super big stimulus. So this could just be the same BS we've seen over a while, you know. But the other thing you got to realize is that there is gigantic China stimulus that people are kind of looking out for. It's not even like China cuts. It's just like the big one. China hasn't stimulated like they did back in the day, and like, you know what I'm saying? They have not done it within a while. So it's pretty crazy. But that's what, like, just be on the lookout for that. And if that does happen, I think that's going to cause a lot of moves. So watch out for that one. But then finally, the last play, man. This is what I was saying. I did this today, so I already made between the time I typed this up and then the time I went live, I've already made 130 on the yen. It should have been like 190 though. They clapped me on slippage, but 130 realized on the yen back and forth. Why? Because I'm doing this. I showed you guys this. I don't know if you remember the last live watch list. You guys remember when we bought those 2 yen contracts? That was $1,500 from there to the next day, that last Thursday, Friday. So, and why? Because remember, I was telling you the Nikkei was down and then the yen didn't move. And I said just inverse it there, again, depending on what's going on there. So that's one thing to watch out for. But there was another one I even did today, intraday, for like $200. So I did after hours right now for a little bit. But if you guys were there on stream today, there was a bond and yen gap. So the bonds were down by 0.5%, and the yen was only down by 1/4. And I've noticed lately they've been moving in tandem, and then eventually the yen was going positive, and then the bonds were still down 0.5%. Fast forward, the bonds ended up catching up. You're able to realize even after hours they kept going. But like I'm saying, the yen and whatever the Nikkei is doing, watch for that inverse. The bonds and the yen, watch out for that inverse. And here's the deal. I've been showing you guys this. I waited. It worked. It's worked very well for me on the yen and the Nikkei for the last month. But here's the deal. Some days it can clap you, and there could be a lag, meaning the bonds will move and yen does nothing. Yen will make a move, bonds do nothing. Like, you don't be so entitled. But here's the deal. That's why I have it highlighted. During this cutting cycle, this may just be more important right now. I don't know when the train is going to stop, but essentially right now there's heavy correlation between the yen and bonds and all these things as everybody's starting to move. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for that. But Chatadonia, that is all that I have here in terms of the plays. And then the final thing, the plays I made, I said 97. I think it was 87. All I did today, I sold out more of those NVIDIAs. So you guys remember that NVIDIA play yesterday? We absolutely killed it. I bought them for 14 cents. We made them free, and then today they went up even more. So I sold 4 of them for like 80, 90 bucks, got just under 400 bucks. I got 3 more for free, took a little bit more off the table. And then the SPY, I did another set of dailies. I ended up losing, but the timing was epic. It was like right before the second rally, like right before 10 a.m. So I got to learn pretty much. Watch for the, it's like 12-cent options. Those are the sweet spot. That's because, again, the other ones I've been hitting on these, they've been like 12 cents. So when you do finally think you found the bottom on a daily, don't go for the cheap one. Go for the one around 12 to 15 cents. You may have a better shot. That's at least what I learned. So that was a loss, but I think it got me a good lesson. Other than that, though, Chatadonia, that is it, man. That is it. That's it, man. So that's your watch list. Any other questions, you let me know. Any realistic policies that could disrupt the yen? Not in Japan. I think, again, it could slow it down a little bit and maybe bring it down, but I don't know if it'll ever get as weak as it was, at the peak just, last year. Pay the plug, baby. Well, thank you, my friends. I appreciate you. God bless. I think it was a good one. There you go. It's a great one. It's Friday Junior, man. Did you guys get a good day? I got a good workout in. That's it. I got a lot done, actually, today. Is FXY inverse? No, it follows bonds. So we did that the other day. If you want, just go. That's why I showed you guys. Just FXY, overlay it with TLT. and you'll notice how powerful it is. And then the best part is, TLT could go down, but FXY won't. So that's like the beauty. Like TLT will fall under FXY, but FXY will not fall under TLT. So a little fun fact. I might have to start looking for another job. Don't worry, man. Meant to be. I mean, I think the job market, the vacancies dropped a little bit. It all depends. Fire Watchlist, drop a jazz. Oh, Nate. Thank you, Josh. Pray bars. Oh, my goodness. Wow, the Twitch chat. Well, thank you, my friends. Let's go. Amen, amen. Amen, the Twitch, baby. Am I noticing the K-shape for a lot of companies reporting? Yeah, some. I mean, it's very sporadic. It's been a heavy winner-take-all environment, like especially with retail. Like, I mean, it's crazy that in the same quarter, you saw companies like Nike and Dollar Tree get clobbered. Like Walmart went up, and even like Starbucks. Even Starbucks did bad again. So it was really, really weird, man. So that's why I'm like, man, whatever we get into, it's gonna be wild, man. I like I like some of Dave Ramsey principles. I think you can learn a lot from Dave Ramsey, but like I'm a fan of leverage. I think knowing how to leverage the right way, it changed my life. But I don't mean that like go to fucking a prop firm and use a hard money loan to trade futures. That's fucking wild. But I mean more so like leverage on property and having access to capital for real estate and other businesses. Can open up a lot of doors for you. Your neighbor's moving out and they're selling. Yeah, talk to him, bro. Say I want to buy it. Say my uncle wants to move it next to me, and we could be neighbors. Well, the AI boat is weird. It is. There's rumors of things dying, or there's rumors of a new the next stage, a slower stage, but not dead, but different. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of whispers. A book to learn leverage. I think understand banking. I think read Intelligent Investor. So again, I think that would really help you. Like you got to understand value in certain things, but that's the problem. Like I don't know. Maybe I should write a book on leverage for you, because there's just not a lot of like places to go like learn about it, if that makes sense. And then that's why I'm like, a lot of people don't like Dave Ramsey and a lot of people love him because like you can't. It's like very hard for the normal person to manage money and like and what I mean, not even just manage money, but like to handle leverage. That's why like credit cards and stocks and certain things like just ruin people because they're not really designed to handle it. So I don't know. I like I said, I think Intelligent Investor would teach you. Otherwise, I don't really know about any books on that. God bless you, Moses. You changed my life, man. God did, baby. Finger to the sky. Thank you, my brother. Amen. Amen. Can't wrap your head around it. Inflation above target, S&P near an all-time high, and rate cuts other than price stability, employment. I mean, I love the long term and like, I don't know. I mean, I believe what I believe. It sucks that everybody like trips out sometimes and like everyone gets so dramatic about it. But like, long story short, bro, I think the way to describe all of it is engineered. That's it. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Every engineered. You're like, how? I can't wrap my head. It's like, no, engineered. And they don't like, and I think people use it without it having a negative connotation. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, even the Fed will say they want to engineer, and they, the Fed is very aware of controlling perception and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. I think a lot of financial engineering is the answer. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people and a lot of both the media down to the Fed, the government, I think even Powell realized it eventually. It's easier to navigate telling people everything is all right than navigate telling them you're going to bring pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Powell got a lesson in that. So I don't think Powell is worse than Volcker. I think Powell is smarter than Volcker. Because I think Powell realized after 1 year of telling people there's going to be pain, I think he realized it made his job harder. So he just said, fuck it, I'm a dove now. And then he still was able to get his job, and that's it. But I think just engineered. That's why it's like it's either going to work or it's going to fail miserably. That's why it's like, I don't know. It's quite the, that's why I'm so excited, because we are witnessing quite the social experiment right now. It's legitimately either going to work, and all of this perception and engineering and talking and data and fucking, it's like we're manifesting it. I don't know, vision board and job owning. It's either going to work or it's going to fail just epically. And then we're going to get a hard landing and then a little bit of a reset, maybe some deflation, and then that's it. So that's why it's so fascinating. But again, that's why either hard landing or soft landing. It worked for COVID. It did and it didn't. I mean, we still had a downside for a couple of months, and then it came up. But, so there still was deflation during COVID and a recession. Everybody forgets that. That's why I brought it up. I'm like, even with the whole Biden thing, like, you know what? When it's all said and done, you could blame Trump, and even real estate was expensive under Trump. But there was a period where real estate went down, and it went to the price of like 2015 or 2010 before it went up. That never happened in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of crazy. So not too crazy. Do I think prices will? It just depends. I don't know. That's why I'm saying I think we're about to witness a very crazy social experiment, because again, if all of this works out, we'll get a soft landing. They cut rates, nothing happens abruptly, all is well, then it's a soft landing, and then it worked. And then it's like, holy shit, everything worked. And then if not, then we're going to get a hard landing, and then we have some problems for a little bit, and then prices, I do think, will come down in that scenario. I don't know. Hyperinflation, we'll see, man. We will see. Again, I think it's going to be a weird middle ground between, deflation or hyperinflation, but, somebody got mad at me for talking about this the other day. So if you don't want to be a jackass, just look at commodities. And I think that will be the answer. What we're about to experience in the next 5-10 years, I think it will be dependent upon commodities. Do commodities have deflation further or inflation? That I think will determine a lot. Like, that's how I think everyone's forgetting. Like, when it's all said and done, your shelter is up and your food is still up. Commodities and certain things are still up there. So we are going through a commodity deflation, but then it stopped, and then it could be a super cycle. So we're gonna find out here, but that will be the answer when it's all said and done, as to whichever way the inflation or deflation is gonna go. Snowboarding, no, man. I don't think I kind of want to if I get the turtle, but like that shit hurt me, bro. That eventually, like when I went with my bro, eventually I told you, right? I told you I left my girlfriend when we went snowboarding. So eventually I just got sick of it. And I said, fuck you, I'm going to the spa. Like, that's it. I just went to the spa. And then she went and skied all day. So, yeah, I said, nah, that's all you, bro. I said, she loved it. Dude, I tell you, she's like a pro skier, bro. I told you that's the only, like, athletic thing I've ever seen her do. And it's insane. Bro, she'd be like one of them, like, like just straight up, like skiing, like down a vertical mountain. It's disgusting. So I was like, yeah, bro, that's nuts. That's nuts. But, yeah, I did, eventually I was like, fuck that. I refunded my ski pass. And I said, fuck yeah, bro. I got a massage. I got a facial. I relaxed. A beautiful resort in the mountain. It was beautiful. I don't think I ever posted pictures. Oh, you should see it. It was beautiful. You ain't scared. Well, that's you. That's you, man. It's all you. It's okay. I'm comfortable having fears. I did go to Colorado. I went to Colorado. I went to Utah. I went to Big Bear. I went everywhere. I took like a week or two off. That's what I'm saying. And then I was sick of it. I'm like, let me fucking get back on stream. You guys are like, when are you going to leave? I'm like, bro, I left for 2 weeks, bro, and I got everything I wanted done. I'm mad I didn't go to Europe. I should have just went to Europe because I was like, I want to see all the American places first, but then I should have just went to I don't like American ski towns. I like Colorado, but then Park City is a piece of shit. Sorry, guys, if you're Utah or Mormon. But other than that, like everywhere else was chill. Everywhere else was really chill. Chata Hall. No. I might go. I don't know, man. I'm going on a boat. I might not go though. I don't want to go anymore. But I feel bad because my girlfriend and her friends, they're excited, but I'm like, I can't fish anymore. So I'm kind of pissed. I'm really pissed. I got hoed. I want to go fish, but no, apparently you can't. You can't fish on a brand new boat. People don't like that. The commodities will fare. I think it depends on what happens. I mean, I think commodities are dictated heavily by policy and cycles. So I think that'll be dependent on what happens there. Go to Switzerland. I want to go on that train in Switzerland, bro. We buying TLT. You might have to rewind the video. We kind of explained it all. So you are getting to the tail end. What time is it? I need to eat. I still haven't ate my dinner. I have a lot of protein today, and I worked out. I need my dinner out the box. I've not been to Japan. No. That's another place I want to go. Michigan? No, I don't think I would come to a Michigan wedding. But congratulations. That's far, bro. Michigan's far. Have I always been fit? Oh, no, dude. I'm like a little fatty. I'm still a little fatty. Like, I got love handles. I'm just, like, buff. Like, I could lift a lot. And I'm in shape, but I still, like, I don't have a 6-pack anymore. Or, like, an 8-pack. But, like, at one point, I was really big. I was, like, 196 pounds. At one point, I think even more. I think I was, like, 205 maybe. It was bad. But, like, I'm short. I'm small. So, I was 5'6". And then I just got really big, dude. Yeah, you're 215 now. How are you short too? I'm assuming you're short, Mr. Nguyen. It's okay. But yeah, that's not good. Just go start fucking. Oh, you're 6 feet? What the fuck? That's whack. What the fuck is he 6 feet? Bullshit. Yeah, you're not bad. I was like 5'6". I was about to give you a life talk. So I don't know, 6 foot. That's not bad at 190. You know, you could exercise a little bit. I was about to see it, bro. If you were 200 at 5'6", I don't know if you heard it, bro. I was about to sit you down and talk. I was about to tell you, bro. I was about to say, hey, man, we need to make some lifestyle changes. You're 5'7", 205. If it's not muscle, you need to make some lifestyle changes. Yeah. Yeah, you need to walk. I'm not telling you to run, but you need to walk. You need to eat a little less, and then walk. But yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do. 5818. Calm down, you guys. This isn't your Tinder. Okay, relax. I'm just saying. He was just asking. Yeah, you can be skinny fat. But you got to like move around. You got to get exercise. But if you're like short and you're putting on weight, it gets really bad. I'm telling you, when I was like that, it was awful, bro. But like, that's it. And then I just started eating and never working out. That's why I'm scared of the new generation of like, they don't like working out. And I'm like, oh, they're fucked, dude. They're absolutely fucked. It's sad. They're like against it. So, I don't know. It's just weird. You just feel tired, too. So, I don't know, man. Anybody out there? Let's go every day. Just walk. Just walk, bro. Telling you. Even then, little dumbbells, bro. All I did was grab dumbbells, and that changed my life. It's a very, very good one. So, no CPI. Oh, yeah, you missed it already, man. We already did that. We had the PPI already today. So, tomorrow's going to be consumer sentiment, but we shouldn't really have anything crazy. Yeah, I guess they will take Ozempic. I guess so. Maybe they don't need it, but still. No, I didn't talk about the oil play, but get ready to roll it over. So I'm only down like $200 on it now, but it's doing the pop. We should have made one more average, but we'll be out of that one very soon. Down 75 pounds. Wow, that's amazing. That's a person. That's that's a lot. That's what I'm saying, though. Fuck yeah. You're just going to, I'm sure you feel amazing. That's it. So, all my shorties out there, y'all better fucking get your ass outside. That's it, man. Honestly, it takes 3 months. That's it. 3 months of calorie deficit and then, like, physical activity every day. Or, like, and then you get, like, 1 or 2 days off. That's it. You'll change. Your body will, like, you'll be healthier. Or you'll be angry typing negative comments on the internet. So it's up to you, my brother. It's up to you. But Chattadonia, I think that's it. I'm getting hungry. I'm talking about being a fatty. I need to eat my dinner. So I gotta wrap it up, Chattadonia. Thank you for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow morning on the watch list. The live, baby. It's Friday. So have a good night's sleep, okay? Stay blessed. I want you to sleep well, man. I know remember when you lay that head on the pillow and wake up and drive, bro. Okay? I want you to visualize and get excited. You know, get a little bit of confidence out there too, but like wake up and drive, man. Okay? It's game time, baby. Get a little confidence. It's game time. But Chattadonia, I love you all. Thank you again. I'll see you in the morning. And peace out. Horn. Good night. Bye.